the trade recap. Today we're going to be going over the Amazon puts play that I called out on live. We hit over 300%, but these eventually ended up going over 700%. And yeah, let's start with the replay mode. Those arrows are initially my entry point and my exit point, but let's go into the opening candle. So let's go to that 9:30 candle, right? So before even market opened, for those that were in the live, I said that Amazon looks very good because we have a magnet below, which is a gap. Let's look at it on the 15-minute, right? So if I zoom out and see kind of the bigger picture, you guys see this gap that needs to be filled, right? You guys seen that we tried to fill it, but eventually we bounced, and that is because it was just on the second retest, right? So I always preach that the more a gap touches, the weaker it gets. In this case scenario, I was loving this because in the overall market structure on Amazon, right, we're in this kind of a downtrend right here. So I wasn't really too much surprised of if we did fill the gap because, like I said, setup was there, EMAs were confirming and everything. So let's get into the 15-minute. So let's get started with the opening candle, right? So we open up here. We tried to get above this 21 EMA, but guess what happens? We eventually reject from it, and this is that 15-minute candle close confirming it, right? So at this point, I'm telling the live, like, okay, if Amazon triggers here, I already have that confirmation on the 21. Let's look at the 5. I want the VWAP below. We get that confirmation right here. That pinkish reddish line is my VWAP. We get that double multiple candles closing below, right? So at this point, I'm telling the chat I'm about to start entering puts. I enter puts on this candle because at this point we are, well below VWAP, and 21 is confirming that bearish setup, right? So I enter puts right here for 0.36 to 20 puts. My first take profit was, let's zoom out a little bit. My first take profit was this low right here. And I knew that if we broke the next previous low, we were going to get that gap fill, right? Because as you see, when we did try to fill it, we eventually bounced up. And that's because it had retested only 2 times. Like I always say, the more a gap touches, the weaker it gets. In this case scenario, that's what happened. The gap was weak. So we enter puts here on the 5-minute. Candle close below, we enter on this candle, then we eventually break the inside. Right now, I always preach that I love to have a FVG back me up. Sometimes I love a FVG before it even breaks or in the areas it's breaking, right, just to back me up, like I said, because I had my stop loss all the way up here at an area of resistance on the 15. So here is where that FVG forms. At this point where I could have went full position, I only went half because, like I said, OPEX was today and I didn't want to risk it, right? Market has been very tricky for this overall month. So yeah, so in this case scenario, we get that FVG confirmation, we get that rejection right there, then we go to TP1. So at this point, right, I'm telling everybody to trim. We get another FVG here. We get another breakdown. Right now, this is where I exited on this candle right here. So this play initially took all the way from 9:40 to 10:40, so about an hour. It took me about an hour to get 300%. And yeah, guys, that's initially why I took these puts. EMAs were confirming, VWAP was confirming, we broke that inside, was confirming my entry, and then we have that FVG to back us up. So now I am chilling, right? Now these eventually did end up going to 700%. We eventually fill that gap, and we go to that next CP of 215, y'all. So, yeah, literally very nice trade. Like I said, I could have held, but in this case scenario, I just wanted to be done with the market. So yeah, hopefully this video helped. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and yeah, peace.